Ridge, what are you doing here?
I need answers, Grant, and I'm not leaving until I get them.
Well, I told you that I have nothing to say to you.
You told them you saw me in your office? I'm the one that pulled the trigger and shot you? Well, you're wrong, Grant.
Please, just go.
I didn't do it, Grant. Now, please, think back. Go back to that moment. What were you doing? Who did you really see pointing that gun?
You're getting upset, Ridge.
You're damn right I'm getting upset because my life is on the line, Grant. Now, I don't know who or what you think you saw, but it wasn't me. Now, please, try to remember. You know the guy that did this is still out there. He's loose. He could try to come back and finish off the job.
Is that why you're here, Ridge?
What?
To finish off the job, to kill me?
Oh, Grant, you're losing it here. I don't know if it's the trauma or the medication. You can't possibly think that I would actually shoot you. Grant, I didn't do it. I'm telling you, I did not do it. Now, please try to remember. Who shot you? Who shot you, Grant? I swear to you, it wasn't me.
What do you want me to say, Ridge?
I want you to tell me who did this. Try and remember.
I do remember, Ridge. You shot me.
Tracy, when is the Dawson meeting?
The Dawson meeting is this afternoon.
Right.
Hey, Sal. Mike Manning's on line 3.
Mike Manning? The tabloid reporter?
That's the one.
Why is he calling you?
The same reason all the rags are calling. They want a reaction to the shooting.
So you want me to give him the same answer?
Exactly the same, Darla.
Okay. Hello, I'm sorry. Miss Spector declines comment at this time. Thank you.
You know, it's amazing. Things are slackening off. That's only the 4th call I've gotten this morning.
I can't imagine what it's like over at Forrester.
Oh, hey, Clarke, how's Grant?
Oh, he's gonna make it. No thanks to Ridge.
I can't get over this. I mean, yes, Ridge has had a temper, but to pick up a gun and shoot someone, it seems impossible.
Well, you tell that to the man with a bullet wound in his shoulder.
Are you sure it's official, Clarke? That Grand Chambers did name Ridge as the man who shot him?
Oh, yes.
I can't believe that.
Well, that's because you're thinking about the old Ridge, the one you would see at Christmas parties or family get-togethers. You didn't see him in the last few weeks.
And you did?
Oh, no. Are you kidding? I stayed clear of that one. But Grant told me what he was doing. He was storming around, making all kinds of threats. I tell you, the guy was a ticking time bomb.
I still can't believe it.
Hey, Clarke. What'd the police say, huh?
What, to Grant?
No. What'd they say when they were questioning you?
Why would they question me?
Were you the last one to see him?
What are you talking about?
Wait a minute, Darla is right. Of course. I remember when you came back here, that evening, you said you had just left Grand Chambers' office. Now, I remember exactly what time it was. And that means, my God, Clarke, you might have left just before the shooting. It's possible you were still in the building when it happened.
I'm so sorry. How are you doing?
Better, now that I know Grant's going to be okay. But that plane ride back is just...
That must have been nerve-wracking for you.
Oh, gosh, yes, it was. But it didn't seem real until I saw Grant laying there in that hospital bed. Still, there's parts of this that really seem unbelievable.
You're talking about Ridge, of course.
I thought I knew him better than anybody. Never in a million years would I imagine that he could ever do anything like this.
But are you sure that he did?
James, how can I be sure about anything? My husband says that he saw Ridge fire the gun. But the Ridge I know couldn't be capable of that. Could he?
Ridge Forrester is here in Grant Chambers' room?
Yes, and he's very upset.
You just called the police.
Yes.
So who are you calling now?
Security. Raoul, it's Anne. We need you on 7.
I'm telling you, Chambers, it wasn't me. I am not the one who shot you.
Listen, Ridge, you gotta calm down. You're only gonna make things worse.
They can't get any worse, Grant.
Oh, yes, they can. The cops are on their way, and if I were you, I would just get out of here, man. What are you doing?
I'm not going anywhere, Grant. Not until I get what I came for.
You're asking me if Ridge shot Grant?
No, I'm asking you if you think he's capable of it. You're a psychiatrist. You know Ridge. Does he seem to be the kind of person that could kill somebody?
Well, it's not that simple. We're all capable of violence with the right circumstances and the right motivation.
Yes, I know, but anger over losing a company? Do you think that's enough motivation to drive Ridge to attempt murder?
No, not by itself, it's not. But remember, that was not the only factor.
What do you mean?
What you have to understand about anger, Brooke, is that it builds. Now consider all the frustrations that Ridge has had to deal with lately. You married Grant. Taylor called off their wedding. Then there was Taylor's accident. From what I understand, Ridge partially blames Grant for that.
And losing the company you think is the last straw?
It is possible, yes.
Oh, I don't know. Even if that did make Ridge angry enough to kill, which I find it hard to believe, why would he do something like that? And risk his freedom, possibly his life? He had to know the consequences.
Not necessarily. If Ridge did shoot Grant, it's possible he was experiencing what we call an emotional hijacking. That's where our rational mind is overtaken by our emotions. It's a fit of rage, if you like. Now, there's an extremely complicated psychological process involved, but simple enough to say that a person in that state of mind loses sight of the consequences of their actions. I mean, quite simply because they literally do not have access to that part of the brain.
Is that the same thing as temporary insanity?
In a matter of speaking, it is, yes.
So you think that could have happened to Ridge?
I'm not saying that, but it could have.
Couldn't there be some other explanation? You know, Grant was so certain that Ridge was out to get him. Maybe he saw somebody in the shadows and he assumed it was Ridge. Or maybe Grant was unconscious and he dreamt it. Is that possible?
Anything is possible. But in either one of those scenarios, Grant's memory would have to be either clouded or hazy. I mean, is that the case?
Grant was positive the man he saw was Ridge.
Well, then it seems to me it all comes down to one question. Do you believe your husband or not?
Ridge, don't block the door with that thing. Just move it.
Not until we figure this out, Grant.
Ridge, just open the door.
You're really afraid of me, aren't you?
Yeah, what do you think?
I only came here to talk to you.
Oh, like last time.
Grant, damn it, I'm telling you I didn't do it.
It was either you or your long-lost twin.
Maybe that was it.
What?
Someone who looked like me. Someone disguised to look like me.
Ridge, I'm calling.
Grant, maybe you saw me pass by your office, which I did only minutes before you were shot. You hear footsteps, you look up and you see someone my height, my hair color, maybe just a silhouette, and you think it's me. Could that have been what happened?
No, Ridge, I know what I saw.
Grant, you couldn't. You couldn't have seen me.
Mr. Forrester! Mr. Forrester, open the door!
Ridge, open the door. Ridge, just open the door.
Grant, there has to be some other explanation. Something. Just think, damn it. Think. Just tell me.
Get off me. What are you, crazy? Get off me.
Oh, my God. How did he get in?
Grant, I know you know who did it.
We've got to get in there. He's choking him.
What do you want me to do? You want me to lie and pin it on someone else? Well, I can't do that. Ridge.
Grant, my life is on the line here.
Oh, your life. What about mine? I almost died because of you.
I'm telling you, I didn't do it. It wasn't me, Grant. Now tell him. Get off of me. Get off of me. I wasn't going to hurt him. Grant, tell him. Tell him who did it. Tell him who really shot you. That's all I want to find out. Just tell him.
Sally, I was not in the building when Grant was shot.
How do you know that?
Well, because I would have heard it. Besides, I read when it happened in the paper, and I was gone from Forrester before then.
Well, then why did it take you so long to get back here?
I made a few stops on the way.
Well, did you see anyone who'd remember you?
What difference would that make?
That's what the cops always ask on TV, Clarke.
Well, the cops aren't going to be asking me any questions. They're going to be far too busy gathering evidence on their number one and only suspect, Ridge.
Take it easy, Clarke. There's no need to get all defensive.
I am not... I'm not being defensive. But you got to realize, the Forresters are going to want to pin this on anybody but Ridge, and they find out that I was in the building, I become the number one scapegoat.
No, they'd never be able to make that stick.
No, of course not. But we don't need that kind of publicity, especially if we want to keep Lauren Fenmore as a client.
Clarke has a point. Listen, everybody, let's make a pact never to mention anything about the fact that he could have been near the scene of the crime. Okay?
Okay.
Let's get back to work,
Right away. Yeah, Darla and I will work on that Dawson meeting.
Sheila, is everything okay?
Oh, yes. Yes, everything's okay. Actually, better than okay. But if you're busy, I don't want to disturb you.
No, please. Please come in. So what's happened to make you so cheerful?
Well, I just came from the hospital. I signed up for some childbirth classes.
Oh, did you really? What, Lamar's?
Here, it's actually much more than that. Take a look.
Oh.
They teach you proper breathing, birthing positions, relaxation techniques. They tell you all about the drugs, too, only hopefully I won't need any of those.
You know, there's nothing wrong with using something to ease your pain.
Oh, I realize that. It's just I want to keep things as natural as possible for the baby. I think it'd be better. And it's the last thing that I get to do for my child. Well, you understand.
Of course I do. Well, it sounds to me like this is going to be a very positive experience for you.
I'm glad to hear you say that because I signed you up for the classes, too.
You did?
Yes.
Didn't occur to you that you might want to discuss this with me first?
Well, it did, but the classes were filling up fast. I didn't want to lose our spot. Well, you can always cancel, James, if you want to, but I hope you don't. It's going to be my first time giving birth. I'm sure it's going to be very overwhelming, and I really don't want to do it alone. I need a partner.
I know you need a partner, but I just don't think I'm the right choice.
What do you mean? You're the only person that I would ever want to share this with. We created this life together, James, and together we can bring it into this world. I can't think of anything more perfect. But if you don't want to be
No,
there...
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. This is my first child, too. When the baby first lays eyes on the world, well, of course, naturally, I want to be there.
Why are you hesitating?
Truthfully. For your sake.
My sake. I want you to be a part of this.
I know you do. But I also know you have unresolved feelings for me, and I don't want to do anything that's going to encourage you, perhaps, to...
Okay, yes, I have feelings for you. But if you think that this is somehow going to lead me on, I mean, you shouldn't feel that way. I'm very aware that this birth could be the last time we ever see each other. Which is why it's so important to me that you be a part of it. Oh, please. Be my labor coach.
So then he grabs a hold of this guy and he starts choking him.
Oh, I did not.
Quiet.
Are there any weapons?
No, he's clean.
Are you all right, Mr. Chambers?
Yeah, just get him out of here.
I just wanted to ask him some questions, that's all. Tell him, Grant. Tell him I just wanted to ask some questions.
Ridge, what's going on here?
Brooke, you gotta help me. Talk to Grant. Talk to Grant. Tell him I didn't do it, Brooke. I didn't do it. Tell him he's mistaken. I didn't do it.
Please. Please, James, be my partner, will you?
All right. I'd be happy to.
You mean it, really?
Yes.
Oh, gosh, thank you. Thank you so much.
No need to thank me. You're quite right. We really both should be there for the delivery, both of us.
Well, I don't have a choice. I kind of have to be there.
Well, I know that, but when I say both, I mean Maggie and myself.
Maggie.
Well, yes, I mean, there aren't any rules. You're not just allowed one coach, are you?
No, I guess not. You sure she's going to be interested?
Well, of course she'll be interested. It's going to be our child, after all. When is the first class?
Tonight?
Tonight. Well, it doesn't give us much notice, does it? But I don't think we've anything else on. No, we don't. You know? You can count on us.
Great.
Is there anything else?
Mm-mm. Oh, I'll see you tonight.
Had you figured for a smart guy, Forrester.
I just had to talk to him.
Hope it was worth it.
Is my lawyer here yet?
I wouldn't be so anxious to see him if I were you. He's gonna have your head. Violating a restraining order. It's about the worst move you could have made.
I told you, I didn't hurt him. Never intended to.
No, but you scared him, didn't you? Maybe that was the idea. Intimidate him. Keep him from testifying.
Oh, come on, it's crazy.
No, stupid.
Look, I never shot anybody. I was just trying to find out what the hell's going on here. What else was I supposed to do?
You're supposed to obey the law. And if you think that doesn't apply to people like you, you're gonna find out different. Starting right now.
What? What are you smiling about?
Just looking at your face. Sweet, beautiful face. I was beginning to think that I'd never see it again.
You really thought Ridge might kill you?
Well, yeah, you saw the look in his eyes, the desperation.
Grant, I want you to tell me exactly what happened.
Well, Ridge comes barging in here. The nurse runs out to call the cops. He starts asking me all these questions, trying to get me to say that someone else shot him, and I wouldn't do it. So then he blocks the door, he grabs me, and I tell you, I thought I was a dead man.
I just can't believe this. I've known Ridge for so long.
And he's never acted like this before.
Oh, never, not once.
Well, I gotta tell you, it's pretty terrifying.
It's bewildering. I mean, how can a person change so much?
Maybe he didn't change. Perhaps he was always like that. He just needed the right trigger.
Yeah, that's what James said.
James.
I went to see James. I had to know what he thought. If he thought Ridge was really capable of attempting murder.
Did he think Ridge could do it?
Actually, what he said was that anybody was capable of desperate acts if they were pushed hard enough.
Well, I certainly agree with that. The fact that you went to see James makes me think that you don't believe what happened. I mean, you do believe me, don't you?
Oh, Jeff, it has nothing to do with believing you or not. It's just that I'm having such a hard time accepting the fact that Ridge could possibly do something like this. Grant, I was hoping that maybe you were mistaken or you were confused or something.
Brooke, I'm not mistaken and I'm not confused. Rich Forrester's the reason I'm laying in this hospital bed. And there isn't any doubt in my mind. You do believe me, don't you?
Yes. Yes, I do believe.